Right mate, Slimy here and welcome to another brand new Let's Play. We just ended the last Let's Play video thingy that we did with the Final Fantasy thing, finding a purple creature. And now we're starting a Let's Play about a purple creature. So I decided to actually start with Spyro 1. And the reason why I started with Spyro 1 is because, well, it's the first one. But Spyro was actually one of the first games I ever played. So, let's get going when the game starts.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Ganok character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
You know, I've always liked how this game kind of starts in a very goofy tone. It just starts with a live broadcast. So anyway, we know the objective of this game. We've got to rescue all these dragons.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Now, yeah, he kind of just explained, oh, this is what you're going to be doing now. And as you can see, there is literally just one right over there. But I'm not going to go get that just straight away. I'm going to go hit this guy. I feel a bit rusty with this right now. It's been a while since I played this game. But like I said, this was actually one of the first games I ever played. And one thing I will mention, that whenever I was a kid I always thought these guys were frogs, because I played this game on the original PlayStation 1, and these guys whenever you went up to them went rah! And I thought that's like a very froggy noise. And you may actually see, as we've walked past here, that there's a big portal here to Dark Hollow. There's a few portals around here that I'm not gonna, you know, go into straight away, because I want to... Oh yeah, this is kind of like an infamous jump, because the gliding mechanics in this game have changed like from the original. We got a skill point from that. I don't think the original Spyro had skill points. Also, yeah, you can... I'm getting that guy first. You can actually burn the sheep. I love how like well animated this game is, really. There's a lot of charm to it. Now there is some stuff like from the original that's missing. Like in one of the levels is this goat enemy. Alright, it's not one of them trees you can burn, but... Also, I'm just going to do this. This is something that a lot of people find out, you know, just by messing around and just by exploring, but the game also explains that there is an area you can do that. But yeah, this was one of the first games I ever played, and it's always great just coming back and seeing just like what this game, like the remake, looks like. I mean, there is some areas that I do question, like why has it been changed to look like that, but for the most part there is some really cool stuff that they've done. Like, take for example, every single one of these dragons have been... It just kind of made me laugh that the guy who just stood there. Every single one of these dragons originally had... There was like 5 dragon designs and that was it. I like how you can burn these plants. Something that the original did actually. Is that you can burn certain plants. Some of them give you skill points. But the dragons in the original all had basically the same design to them in that. Or the same handful of designs, I should say. Whereas this game actually has, each dragon has their own unique design. And each area of this game has like kind of a theme to it. Oh, I tried going for a technique that's not in this game. Because that's one thing, is that Spyro 1 has a few stuff that's missing compared to 2 and 3. 2 and 3 kind of like added more abilities to Spyro's kit. And Spyro 1 doesn't have that. Which is a very like noticeable thing, because this is one of the few platforming games I can think of, like 3D platformers, that doesn't have water levels in it.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
I love how like I said, I love how animated this game is and stuff like that. Like each one of the characters has like in the original, because it was like PlayStation 1 hardware and stuff like that, the characters couldn't really, emote that well, but like the way Spyro was just like, oh, that, it just kind of amuses. I am actually trying to basically 100% this area before I move on to doing any of the other levels. So there's 100 out of 100 gems. And we may as well go over and snag that other dragon while we're in.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Sparks is actually the health bar in this game. If he's yellow, he's full health. If he's blue, he's got 2 hit points left. If he's green, he's got 1 hit point left. And is there another dragon I'm missing? Yeah, there is. I thought there was one missing. And if he's completely gone, then if you get hit, then you're completely dead. This guy is actually interesting because he actually has different dialogue depending on how much completion you've got.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The artisan's boss is through a portal in the dragon mouth, but you're not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
So that's pretty much this level 100% complete. So I'm actually going to hop into Stonehill. I think this or Dark Hollow is like usually the first level that everyone does. Actually, there's a thing that I may as well mention, is that this game, obviously it's got voice acting and that, but I wonder if anyone actually recognises Spyro's voice. Because ever since, I think, the original Spyro 2, Spyro in the original Trilogy has been voiced by Tom Kenner, aka the voice of SpongeBob. He's also the voice of the Ice King from Adventure Time and the Mayor from Powerpuff Girls. So it's really funny now that I think about it, is that a lot of the things that I grew up with, Tom Kenny was a voice actor in it. There is actually a funny thing about this game, well not this game but the sequel game, is that there's a character in the sequel game that actually... Where's he going? There's a character in the sequel game who like has spot on SpongeBob's voice, but in the remakes he no longer actually has like that SpongeBob voice anymore. And I'm wondering if that's because like Nickelodeon, because like the original game, the Spyro 2 actually came out before SpongeBob, like I think 4 or 5 months before SpongeBob. And I'm wondering if it's something like Nickelodeon have told them not to do. Like if he took offence to a little goblin man being SpongeBob or something. I thought that other guy's hat landed on that other guy's butt. It just made me think of a scene from Chowder, where he said, well, what if you wear a hat on your butt? Well, then they'd be called butt hats. Wasn't Tom Kenny also in Chowder as well? So there's a dragon there. At the moment, I'm just like kind of focusing on getting as many gems as I can. But yeah, this, like, whenever I first played this really felt really open. Because, like, if you compare this to any game like, you know, Mario 64 or like Banjo-Kazooie and that, for like a first level area, it feels really open, just being able to run along all these cliffs and that, and just like you can jump up so many of these places. I don't think you can jump up there though. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think you can. I know some areas are like completely blocked off. And then there's this guy. This is the infamous egg thief. These start appearing in more games later on, but I believe in this game there's just like maybe about 4 or 5 of them. But they have like a really infamous laugh. I think in the original games they were far more annoying than they are in this game. Now there is a thing around about... Where is it now? Here it is. That's a skill point. Because there is just like a bonus extra thing there. And there's an extra life, I didn't even realise that. But down here, we've got this little area here, like an extra cave. And as you can see, there's a key there as well. It's one thing I never knew about this as a kid. And then I think one day I actually accidentally like overshot one of the glides. And I ended up down here. I thought, wait a minute. So we've got, this is actually the end of the level, because Spyro 1 is kind of a simple game. Kind of the goal of this game is to get to the end of all these levels. We've got an extra life here. I actually was saying earlier about the goat enemies that had like a funny little animation where they flex. This is actually the level with those goat enemies, and I think I've killed every single one of them already. And that is where the key goes. Now some levels in this game have a key that you gotta collect. There's a few different ways of like collecting, which there's a button somewhere. I've never really used it, but like sparks point you in the way that you're looking for gems. And for some reason I've completely forgot it, because like I said, I do want to try and 100% these. I don't want to... Well, I don't think I'm going to go get all the skill points. I am avoiding touching the water, because this is before Spyro figured out he could swim. So touching the water just kind of kills him. But yeah, that's where the other dragon is. I feel like some people are just going to start screaming at me like, get the rest of the dragons, you know, stuff like that. So I'm just going to say chill a minute. Also, yeah, like I was saying about the crates and that, there's actually a few different kind of crates in this game. There's like, there used to be like barrels, in this one's the more like treasure chests. Then you can either breathe fire on them or headbutt them. And then you got steel ones which are fireproof. You've got ones that have got like a fan on the top that you breathe fire on, and the more you breathe fire on, like the faster the fan goes until the fan just flies off. I've seen in some versions of the game you can fly off and hit enemies. There's some that are connected to rockets, so you can breathe fire on them, but they also have like an explosion around them, so you got to be a bit careful with them. Also, yeah, if you're wondering, invisible walls. I know some levels do this, but not all the levels do that. See, a good thing about, they thought about this in the original as well, is that from a distance, gems have kind of got like a shiny glimmer to them. Glimmer's actually a level in the second game as well. So you can actually see them from a distance. So there should be one or two that we're missing now. It's either one red one or one green one that we're missing. That grass is floating there. That's one thing that people say about Reignited, is it is slightly glitchy. But the original Spyro games were also kind of glitchy in like a different way. Now where is that other gem? Either one that I'm missing or two that I'm missing. Green gems are 2, red gems are 1. What's that one up there? Oh, did I just hallucinate that? Oh, am I missing a treasure box? I'm going a bit insane now. I might just start collecting the dragons as soon as we know where they all are. So we've got this guy here. Is this the paintbrush guy? Yeah, it is.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
Oh, I saw a gem there, but it was a sheep. Oh, there it is, I just saw it. Watch me lose track of it whenever I go over to get it. So this is either... This should be a green... Yeah, it is, it's green. Now that we've got that, let's go get the other dragons. So we know where the other 3 are. So one of them is just the wrong cliff, mate. I don't want to accidentally, like, lose my life to doing something really stupid. Okay, I can just jump over here.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
I kind of love, like, they've got this running joke about Spyro, like, anytime he sees an old person, he's just kind of like, well, yeah, I'm going. He doesn't want to hear them talk. Oh, and then there's this guy, with the Super Saiyan hair.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
And then finally we've got one last dragon to save, who's just over here. We almost like landed directly onto him, but I just find this guy's name really funny.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
You know, it's really strange, like, you know, in the original version of, like, Spyro the Dragon, none of these dragons had, like, any kind of clothes or anything. But now with Reignited, they've all got, like, all the adult dragons are wearing, like, some kind of clothing. Meanwhile, Spyro just runs around wearing completely nothing. Also, he does this spin if you know, if you move around like that. Something new that he's had for Reignited. You can also do this. This is something that you could only do in Spyro 1, but now they've added it into both games. But with think that's all the dragons collected. Yeah, that's 100% Stonehill. Actually, oh, there's something I completely forgot to mention, is that I can barely hear the music right now. And I do actually have a preference for the original version of the music. And there is actually a really weird thing I want to point out about this music. I don't know if it's going to like start replaying or anything, but at the start of the Stonehill theme, and if it's not playing already, I'll actually, you know, I'll edit it in or something. There's a clip that if you listen closely, you can actually hear the world ending theme from Majora's Mask. It uses exactly the same sample. I believe it's called Iceland or something from like an old sample CD. I just think it's really neat. Yeah, I just saw like Spyro wiggling around. Another just weird thing I want to mention is that in like Spyro has like idle animations whenever he's not doing anything. Sometimes he'll sneeze, sometimes he'll like lick his hand and like comb his what's it called, like his crest and that. Sometimes he'll yawn. And one thing that they actually did do in like Reignited that he didn't have in the original is that they gave Spyro funds, and I think they even stated at one point that Spyro's movement in the original game was based on a cat, and some of his stuff in Reignited is based on a raccoon. I just think that's kind of funny to mention, but with all that said, we're finally actually just going to hop through the portal. And as Spyro glides onto the Artisan's realm, probably actually his home realm, I'm guessing, we'll call that an episode. Controller almost slipped off my leg then. So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, rate, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!